There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're officially live on Facebook. So, hello, Facebook fam. How are you? Welcome to another Wealthy Money broadcast for the Fall in Love with Your Bank Account Challenge. So, before we start, I feel like I should make an announcement that on Sunday, this group is going to be archived. So you won't be able to comment and share your stories because the challenge is over, right? And I'll be archiving it just a day before the Creating Money Magic course closes because I then need to focus on the bigger Wealthy Money group, and I'll also be focusing on the new Creating Money Magic students and the current students and old students, right? So we do a lot of classes and that takes a lot of time. So even if I wanted to keep this group open, I really couldn't. So thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. If you've just joined us, please say hi in the comment section, right? Ask questions as usual. I know that we've got quite a few students already signed up for the e-course after the challenge, but I know that there's potential students in this group wondering about the course still and still worried about the spirituality element because I'm getting all your emails, right? You're still worried about procrastination. You're still worried about what if I don't start when everybody else starts. So I've invited Tshegofatso, who's one of the students who first joined the course, I think the very first time I actually launched this course. And she really only became active last year. Or maybe actually this year, to be honest. Right?
Last year.
Last year, okay. And she has fallen in love with the course. I mean, she loves it. So welcome, Tshegofatso. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Ben. It's my pleasure to be here, actually.
Okay, I really wanted to interview you because I just, a lot of the students get in the course and start doing it. So with you, you took a while. But before we even get there, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? Because I'm sure people are interested in that, right?
Well, all right. Well, I'm a doctor actually by profession. And I chose the profession. I think my mom said I was about 4 years old when I wanted to become a doctor. The main reason for that was that I wanted to help people. Over and above that, I'm a wife and mother of two. And I do a whole lot of charity work, but only with regards to children because I love children.
Oh, wow. Guys, you should see this woman in person. You will swear to God she's 18 years old. And then you won't believe she has kids. It's the craziest thing. I'm like, give me your details, give me your diet, give me everything. I want to know what you're doing.
Look who's talking, though.
So, hi, Nosipo. I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, if you've just joined, let me know. I can see that there's people watching, so just say hi. And if you have any questions for Tshegofatso, please put them in the comment section, right? So, Tshego, I wanted to know, why did you decide to do the Creating Money Magic course?
You know, actually, I started seeking financial literacy at first. My husband is a CA and he used to bog me down with his financial jargon that I didn't understand, right? So I wanted someone who could simplify things for me. So I started looking, I even looked at like books like Financial Literacy for Dummies. And then luckily, I didn't have to go that far. I stumbled upon your book, actually. And but what that did was that it actually gave me a different perspective of what the financial literacy or financial freedom was really about. So I actually wanted to know more, and I got directed via seeing your blogs and YouTube videos to your course. And at that stage, I think it was still new and there was not much around what the course entailed, but I signed up immediately and I joined in.
So okay, so hi, Dominique, hi, Caesar. I see you, right? So what I found very, very interesting about you, right, was, I mean, guys, this is not unusual for me. There's quite a few students in the course. And even now, there's old students that will be like, hey, I'm not part of the group. Please add me. So a lot of the students will join and then they'll be silent, radio silent. And I won't know what's going on, what's happening. And then just like Tshego, like a year or two later, they come out and they just raving. And I'm just like, you've said nothing for years. What is going on? So when I opened the course the first time, I opened it just for a few days like I did now, but then the course closed for about a year. And I wasn't doing the groups or anything. A huge part of that was I was in India. I was getting the Tantra Yoga certificate. Then I moved to South Korea. So my life was just filled up with travel. And then when it reopened, it's been active ever since because I could see the value. At first, I didn't understand the value of a tribe myself. But as soon as I figured it out, everything changed. So but what took you a long time to get involved in the course?
All right. After signing up in the course, because initially I thought it was all technical stuff, like, you know, drawing up of budget, what's a budget, what are investments, what are expenses, what's income, and things like that. I expected that to come through, and there are parts of that in there. But what took me aback, what got me running scared actually, was the spiritual side of money, of my finances. So initially I decided, okay, this is no problem. All I have to do is ignore all the spiritual stuff and just only do the technical bit, the bits that I was there for, right? But because I also joined the Facebook group when you actually introduced it, when you started being active, joined the tribe, and then there were people who started getting shifts and were putting that out on the group. And I was, you know, things were just sort of neutral. Yes, now I understood things like I wanted to, but I wasn't seeing the huge shifts that people like Nombeliso were talking about, right? And so I decided, well, geez, let me try this meditation part of the course that everyone is raving on about. And the first few times I started, I just couldn't go past the call on your archangels. I freaked out. I couldn't do it.
I know, I remember, and I remember being, what's going on?
And then until one day I mustered enough courage to ask on the group. So I, you know, and Nombeliso answered. The big thing for me was the fact that I felt as though it was conflicting with my religious beliefs. Initially, when I tried, so I said, archangels, what's going on? You know, and then when Nombeliso said, instead of that, you can say the Holy Spirit. That actually got me to relax enough to actually do the meditation till the end. And once I could relax enough and started doing meditations, I wanted to do more and more and more. And that's when I started seeing shifts. So I couldn't let go anymore. I was sunk. I was in there. I couldn't leave.
So the meditations aren't that bad, right?
No, the meditations aren't that bad. And I think what we actually think that they convert or change or contradict your religious beliefs is not true. It's far from it, in fact, that you grow more spiritually as you do your meditations, actually. You get more and more spiritual as you do them. And it has no conflict whatsoever with your religious beliefs. And that's what I eventually found out, in fact.
I'm so excited to hear that, actually, because that's a big thing for most people. And I brought you on because I know it held you back from getting into the course for years. And it's something that people constantly say to me, Van, you freak us out. You talk about all these things, right? But I know. So I know one of your favorite meditations is Inner Child. I don't know if it's your favorite, but it's definitely had a huge impact. Can you talk to people about how doing the inner child work and the mother wound work has shifted your relationship with money?
When doing the meditations, especially the lesson one meditations, I actually started developing a relationship with money, right? But what really, what that did is that I started noticing certain patterns in my behavior with regards to money. For example, people would ask me for money, and they didn't have to know me very well to ask me for money, and it would happen anyway, anytime. Like, people just ask me for money. If I walked in a room and I chat to you for an hour, the next thing was, can you please borrow me money? So I started noticing that as I did the meditation, because money the spirit of money would tell me that, why do you give me away so easily to anyone, to anything, at a drop of a hat? And so I started noticing, what does that mean? Okay, but after noticing the pattern, and then I wondered, why do I do that? Where does that come from? And it's only really when starting to do the inner child meditations and discovering the mother wound that I actually realized why I was doing that. And that came across from the inner child meditation. It took a few meditations before I actually got to the heart of it, because those were hard. When I initiated, I didn't think I had inner child wounds. I didn't think that my inner child needed help or needed healing. I was fine. I was great.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think I had a mother wound, for crying out loud. I wondered what you talked about when you spoke about it. And lo and behold.
I know everyone says that. Most people go, I have such an awesome childhood. I have such an awesome relationship with my mom. It's not about how awesome your childhood was or how awesome your mother is. It's got nothing to do with that. It's all got to do with the messaging that you received and the way that you processed the world, right?
Yes.
So once you...
So I think when I started doing the inner child meditation, and then realized the reason why I gave away money so easily was because when I was growing up, the one thing I wanted was attention and affection, and I could see how my mom would get attention by giving people things and doing things for people. So then I thought, in order to get love, I have to give money. And that's what I started doing. So even if you befriended me for 5 minutes, if you asked me for money, in order for me for you to like me and keep me in your life as your friend, then I must give you money. So I felt like I couldn't say no, otherwise I wouldn't be liked. I learned from the inner child meditation that I'm good enough to be loved as I am. I don't have to give money in order to get love. And actually, after then, when I started healing that part of my inner child, since March, no one, not even a soul, has asked me for money. Nobody. That was like, in a week, I get 4 or 5 people, different people asking me for money.
Wow.
Yes.
I know people are always shocked that the opposite happens with me. Like I shared in the event, at the event with Lebo, that as I do this work, the opposite happens. It's like instead of family members saying, hey, can I please have money? I've constantly got family members saying, hey, what do you need? What can I do for you? What can I get for you? So it's such a huge shift, because we're not aware that we're carrying these gaping wounds to say, hey, please, can I have money? Right? Please ask me for money so I can show you love. And I think this is such a huge thing for women, in particular Black women in South Africa, because we don't know how to show love and how to just receive love, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So
sorry.
No, continue.
Yeah, so I think, and when you start actually realizing that you don't actually have to be anything or do anything other than who you truly are, you are good enough to be loved as you are. And I think the inner child meditations, although they are the ones that cause a lot of havoc after the meditation.
Word of warning, all my students know this. The inner child meditation have us all flawed. We all cry for days. Like, I know I have to make announcements to say we're now going to do inner child work around money, and it's not going to last a week or 2. The course says it's a week, but it will take us a whole month. Because we need to heal.
But the shifts from there are huge.
They
huge.
are.
I mean, things that you wouldn't have actually, I mean, on a conscious level, I wouldn't have known that is what was going on, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for me, it's been also major. As I also share my journey on the inner child work.
Yeah.
It's very, very deep. Okay, so Tshego, thank you so much for sharing all this, right? I think a lot of people are going, wow, they never ever connected how observing parents behave with money could impact our financial behavior as well as kids, and even as adults. So what do you think makes the course so special, before we let you go?
I think for me, over and above the fact that you actually get you get deep into the root cause of behaviors, right? Is the fact that you are always available. The support and the guidance throughout is amazing. And being part of the tribe is even more amazing, because they might articulate things that you would have come across but not understanding, and someone can help you get clarity and get unstuck. So what is special about it is that, first of all, you respond to each and every one of us, and you support us through the meditations in terms of guiding us which one to do next and how to do that, and maybe doing that for how long, and that's superb. And the fact that because the course actually gets to the root of things, there might be layers before you get to the core, and you give lifelong access to the course. And I think if it wasn't for that, if it was just for a year, I would have missed out on so much, because I wasn't ready when I initially entered to actually get to do meditations. Imagine that. Imagine how much I would have missed out on. And now I'm able to peel layer by layer without feeling pressured to quickly do it within a specified time. And that for me is a gem. I can't, I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you so much, Tshego. I'm so grateful that you're here and you're sharing. So is there anything else before we log off that you'd like to share or let students know?
What I'd like students to know is that I know sometimes you feel like, getting the book, maybe it's cheaper or whatever other reasons, or just getting other things for free is cheaper. What this course will give to you is a lot more than what you're charging for it. I mean, the value in it, I can't quantify it in rand terms. I really can't. And I'm forever grateful. It didn't only just shift financial issues in my life. It actually touched every aspect of my life, even though the initial reason was to get financial freedom. I got a lot more than just financial freedom. I got relationship freedom. I'm now more confident, a lot more happy. I'm sure you've seen in my post in the group. I'm so happy. I have so much beautiful flow in my life. And this is all through the course. I mean, what started out with me just wanting to get financial literacy. Imagine that.
Yeah, well, I think the students now understand why we do so much on your other personal stuff, because there's no way that I can help you get to the level that you want to get at financially if we don't touch on the really deep stuff around our own personal lives, because money is so tied to that, but we're so oblivious to it, right?
That is so true.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Tshegofatso. I'm so grateful that you came and that you've shared so openly and beautifully. Guys, if you have any questions, please post in the comment section below. Tando, hey, I see you. And Dominique, yes, Tshegofatso is the tiny pathologist, right, working for Lancet. She's so amazing, right? I'm so glad that she crossed paths with me and that she's been in the course. So happy. Like, okay, so guys, I've been doing the student series. You've seen the masterclass that I did on Friday. You've seen Polite and you've seen Katlego share their journeys. And you've also had Tebogo share her journey. You've seen Nombeliso a little bit earlier on share her journey. And now you've seen Tshegofatso. So the students generally are happy with the course. They genuinely love it. They love the tribe. So ask away any questions. There's quite a few students enrolled in the course doing the challenge. So before I close the challenge group, you don't want to miss out. I did say that the price was going to go up. It has yesterday. It went up by 10%, so not drastically. And there is still the 6-month payment option. But now you just don't get the travel and save like a boss bonus course, right? So thank you so much, Tshegofatso. Have an amazing day. And I'm going to be off. I'm going to be teaching a masterclass to people who missed the challenge, right? So in a few minutes.
Thank you, for having me. Bye.